Alright, so this is going to look very much like a very first YouTube video with the quality, but I just wanted to document this. This is what a lot of people have been asking for. I get tons of questions on how I painted the sequins and my other AI, so I'm gonna do a video on how I set up the new AI. So I just got this ATX in. It's in 6 Creedmoor, but it's in the Red Rocket Red. So I didn't pick the color. It was a good deal, so I got it. Also, thanks to my friends at AI for hooking up the deal. Full disclosure, I bought it, but it was a good price, so thanks to those guys. Anyway, so I'm just going to show the taping process. I've already removed the stuff that can be removed, and then I'm going to tape the rest that I don't want paint on, and I'm just going to show how I do that. First, I'm going to get, I think I've got some rags. I'm going to get some rags, and one thing you want to do before you paint is just kind of wipe down oils and stuff so the paint will stick better. There's obviously going to be a little bit of oil around the action and stuff, so I'm going to give it a quick wipe down and then tape inside the action. Around the rear of the action, I'll tape the butt pad off and the trigger, and then everything else is going to get the Rust-Oleum treatment. So let's get into that. Alright, I'm not using anything special for tape, it's just blue painter's tape, the duck kind. So start with the butt pad. I'm just going to do the rubber part. I'm not too worried about anything else. The paint comes off pretty easily with just that normal spray-on paint remover. I've done it before. I've removed the paint from a whole gun and it wasn't bad, so I'm not too worried about overspray and stuff. Well, kind of, but it's not the end of the world if you get a little bit of overspray. So, butt pad done. Then I'm going to use a little bit, just a little piece around the trigger. I'm going to get some, these are just muzzleloader patches. Not the best rags, but they'll work. I'm going to wipe down the action real quick because this is the spot that I want to protect. I'm going to wipe down all around it. So the paint will stick good. Get those oils off. Alright, so I'm going to just quickly show how because I like the paint to be around the action. There's some oils again. But I obviously don't want any paint in the action. So what I do is roll it out like this. Just kind of roll it and then I'm blocking your light. Sometimes it's kind of hard for it to slide in there. And you can help it through the mag well. Then I just press it in on the sides and the top. And this works better if there's no oil in it, but this will do just fine because I'm not going to be spraying super heavily throughout there. Sorry, I'm blocking it, but just like that. It's nothing. Yeah, there's your light. Sorry, I'm standing right in front of the light. But it just gets you a good crisp edge around the action. Put a piece over this part because I want to protect the sear. And it helps if you have a good sharp knife. Go in there and trim everything off. Shout out to Wolf 40 and the Forward Observation dudes. Steve is a good knife. And then I'll get another piece and do the same thing to the back of the action. This part isn't super necessary, but I like to keep it really clean right there. This will also be my first time, well, not first time. I'm on the I do the Tier 1 Concealed YouTube, so I'm no stranger to the YouTube comment section. But I'll be interested to see what people think of the more precision rifle side of things. Just because there's a lot of people that think they're legitimate snipers, and they'll get mad at you for, you know, doing a video like this and like, oh, you didn't do this with your ghillie suit. So I'll just leave a disclaimer right here that this is just a hobby. This is a PRS rifle that I'll do a lot of different things with. I'm not a sniper, so hold your sniper comments. I think that'll do it. So now, let's get some cardboard laid down and do the first coat. It's gonna be a thick coat because I want to not see this red. So I'm gonna start with this color. I can't remember. I'm gonna spray them on the cardboard here, but I think this one's a little bit darker. I'm not a huge fan of how yellow this one turns out. I'll use it for highlights and stuff, but not as a base coat. So I'll spray a little bit on the thing here to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's a good color. Just a little bit more. I set up a fan.
You did.
I did. Kenna, my wife told me I should set up a fan. And this stuff, the matte stuff actually dries pretty quickly. So it's right there's a little bit tacky, but where it's going to rest on when I flip it over isn't bad. I'm gonna flip it over to the other side. Make sure it's not going to stick and peel off. Alright, so now that I have the base coats done, still a little bit, well, it's pretty dry. I'm going to show how I set up the stripes. So what I do, this is why I like using the wide tape. So I'll take the piece like this, and I'm going to just kind of rip it pretty jagged like. Set one piece. I'm going to start, I'm just going to set it on there light so it doesn't peel any paint off when it comes off. But I just go and lay it down where I want the stripe to go. This is kind of my take on a tiger stripe paint job. I'm going to lay that down right there. Just like that. And so that's where the green is going to go. And I like to do them fat around the more distinguishing chunks of the rifle to kind of break it up. So now, go like this. Get another big piece going. Angle this one a little bit more just because it's on the thinner part of the rifle. And I'm just gonna kind of lay these there to prevent the overspray onto the solid color. I'm doing pretty much the same pattern that I did on the AT because it actually worked really well as camouflage because I'm mostly in sagebrush out here. I'm just going to test this one. Yeah. And I don't go too heavy on these. So I just kind of stay farther back and no light, not too crazy. So now I'll let that dry. I'll flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Alright, so that's after the paint tape's been removed and it's already looking super sick. So I'm going to flip it over, do the same thing. I'm obviously going to time lapse through all this because it's just boring watching me tape. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, me. But seriously, if you want to sponsor a channel, don't sponsor me right now because it won't be worth your time. I don't have very many subscribers and not a lot of people are buying stuff that I recommend right now. So, yeah. Anyway, back to the video. Alright. One thing, always remember to cap your stuff after so you don't be like, oh, I need some FDE and then blast it with dark brown. This is my favorite part. You just get to see that heavy contrast and it just starts looking way better than when you got it. I don't know why I like painting my rifles so much. I don't know. I like things that are uniquely mine. There are a lot of people that have ATXs, but no one has one that looks like this. And you could be like, oh yeah, there's lots of spray painted ATXs, but that's because you're just being a dick. And yeah, I do things that make me happy. And this one does mostly because the fumes aren't properly evacuating from here. But I also really like cool looking rifles, and this is turning out really sick. But now I'm gonna show how I get a few more. I'll do a few more little stripes here and there just to break it up, and then I'll texture it, and then it's done. And then we'll put all the stuff back on. I'll put a scope on there, put the bipod on, put a suppressor on, and see what it looks like all put together. Alright, so what I've done here is I just kind of scribbly, haphazardly cut out a stencil out of a piece of cardboard. And I'm just going to go through and use different parts of it to add a few more little accents with the green and some of the dark brown. And then I also have this is called, they call it a sniper veil. But it's just I got it from our local surplus store. My local one is Smith & Edwards. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it if you're familiar with northern Utah. But I'm pretty sure you can just type sniper veil in on Amazon and this is what comes up. They're like $7 or $8, but they work really good for texturing, and I'll get onto that after I do these stripes. So I'm going to use the green, and I'll just go where I feel like I didn't get as much as I wanted. Like right here on the barrel, and I'll just hit it with a stripe or two there. Like right here, I kind of want to do one. So I feel like that's pretty good for right here. So what I'm going to do is, before I flip it over, I'm going to just throw this sniper veil over the whole thing. Lay it out. And you want to make sure that it's not too far away, or else you won't. Because this you do kind of want to get crisp edges. or else it'll kind of just overspray under it and it won't be, like the grid pattern won't be as defined. Actually, I'm going to change it. I don't want it to be perfectly up and down, so I'm going to go like that. And then with this, you also don't want it to be like really close. This one I like to be a little bit farther away because I don't want these to be like ultra defined. So I'll go in the more lighter spots and I'll just do a few little spritzes here and there. Oh, see, that one was a little close. Because this is just to kind of break things up a touch. So, and don't do it all at once. Do it and then take it off, because then you can break up the grid pattern, make it look. See, now it's really starting to come together. It's just those little touches that make it look good. And what I'm going to do while I'm here is I'll do that again. And I'm going to use the FDE again. And this I'm going to do really light on the green stripes, on the thicker stripes, just to kind of give them a little bit of texture. See, there we go. Now it's starting to break it up a little bit more. So now I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. And I'm going to leave it at that. Just don't get, when you're spray painting a rifle, less is more. So just don't get carried away, because you'll end up like, oh, stripe here, stripe here, stripe here. It'll just get super dark and you're like, oh shit, and then you gotta redo everything. So what I do is just take a step back, give yourself a minute to think about it, and then if you really want more, add them there. Step back, take the stencils off, look at it, just ponder your orb for a second and see if that's really what you want. Okay, so now I'm gonna throw the sniper veil over it, do the browns. Now it's looking pretty sick. That's another thing that I do a lot of, is get your cardboard, lay the base coat, and test your pattern on at least like a 1 foot by 1 foot square, so you can kind of see what the pattern would look like. And you can practice and be like, okay, I don't like that, I like this, and then you can have a little bit of peace of mind when you actually go and spray paint your rifle, if you're new to it, or if you're scared to paint your rifle because you think you're devaluing it. But for me, I'm adding more value. I don't like to sell guns, especially precision rifles, because I'm going to hand this rifle down to my son. One of them, after I only have one right now. But you get the point. Anyway, I'm rambling. Alright, so now that it's done, it'll take a few days before the paint is like completely cured. So it'll feel dry, but you'll still kind of feel like it's a little bit tacky, almost rubbery. But yeah, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to take the tape off now, and then we're going to get all the stuff reinstalled on it. Put the scope on. This is a 5 to 25 attacker. It's already painted because it was on my other AI. I should know here in a few days if I have another 7 to 35 attacker coming specifically for this. Always use torque limiters on your optics. For spur mount, I think it's like 40 inch-pounds for the bases, and they're numbered to tighten them down in order. 1, 2, and do them in increments. Alright, I'm gonna put suppressor on the bipod. That's about all I have left to put on here. I have an Otter Creek Labs. So I have a Otter Creek Labs Hydrogen L and a Coltac suppressor cover. If I can get it right. There we go. Otter Creek did send me these suppressors a while ago. I have basically all my suppressors are Otter Creek. I have Hydrogen L, Hydrogen S here on the Seekins, and then I have a polonium on my SPR and a lithium 9 on my suppressed handgun. And this is a double pull SkyPod. Trying not to chip the paint a ton. There we go. That is the ATX. Very excited with how it turned out. It looks super sick. I am on a couple of email lists for the restock on the folders, so hopefully those come in soon. But yeah, so now I'm trying to decide if I should end the video. This is going to be a super boring video for those that need to be constantly berated with entertainment and loud music and cool angles. I'm sorry. But for those of you that are a little autistic and like to just absorb a lot of relatively useless information on rifles, I'm very autistic about rifles. I'm obsessed with them. I love shooting them and setting them up and tinkering with them. Then this video is for you, so thanks to you guys for sticking around. I may go out and shoot it, show chronographing it. I did just get one of the new Garmin, the 01 chronographs, and it's awesome. So I'll go just show how I get dope on rifles. I don't do it in any special way. It's pretty generic. But yeah, maybe we'll do a video or add this into the video. Take it out, shoot it, show how it groups. I still need to go pick up some 6 Creedmoor ammo, and then I'll be keeping all the brass and reloading it. But yeah, very excited with how this turned out. So if I end the video now, thanks for watching. If I don't, let's go to the range.